Hey friends, I have a fun one for y'all today. So is this why UFOs crash? I am reading this document by a guy named Dr. Naruto. This is from like the 90s, and he goes deep into like the Anunnaki and the Atlanteans, the genesis of humans and Earth and everything. It's blowing my mind. But in one of the parts, he talks about where these crashed UFOs come from and what they actually are. And I've never considered this before. So check this out. So they aren't supposed to be here. They were never supposed to crash. He said that they used to think that these were like donated by these higher intelligences to give us like these, exotic technologies that we can reverse engineer and propel our technological development forward, right? And that makes sense. But he said that's not what's happening. That these things are here because they've always been here. They're monitoring, doing recon, observing all the things that they do, but they're non-physical craft with non-physical beings inside. But when they get too far into our realm here, they materialize spontaneously. And this is why. So they are in these light Merkaba vehicles that are made of chemicals, and they use sacred geometry. So just like our body, like my body is a physical body, but it is made of basically atoms, which are virtual for the most part, and they come together, form molecules, form cells, and they create our body. They 3D print our body. But my body is made of basically just like hydrogen and carbon and oxygen and things like that, right? But I'm a physical being. It's because I'm in this physical realm here. So their vehicles are made of chemical elements using like sacred geometry as the framework, and they exist in this like non-physical manner, and they just transport their consciousnesses around the universe. But when they get to Earth, since Earth is this dense physical realm with its own like rule sets, we have our own distinct laws of nature and physics that govern how things operate here. When they get too far into this simulator, they instantly manifest into our world. They spontaneously, materialize into 3D matter, right? And that happens unexpectedly, and it causes them to crash, and it causes all sorts of other glitchy type things to happen, which explains the like high weirdness around these things. So they can like dip in, just like I can dip into the ocean for a few minutes, but I can't go down for too long. I would have to have, like a special suit or a submarine or, a scuba suit or something like that. That's how they are here. They can dip in for a minute, but if they're here too long, or if they get too far down, then the rules, our rule sets, apply to their chemical structure and materialize them. And that's why all these craft are different. That's why every craft is slightly different. Every being is slightly different when they're in physical form, because it's like 3D printing spontaneously. And the different situations and the different elements and stuff are going to 3D print slightly different each time because it wasn't planned, and that's why they crash. And that's why when we get their craft, we don't know what the hell to do with them. It's basically largely useless to us because it doesn't make sense, because it wasn't supposed to happen. They're just